My name's Sam Haug. I'm going to be doing our industry player highlight. What we did for the industry is, or for our industry player is Anheuser-Busch. A little bit about them. They are one of the top beer producers in the world. They're mainly rivaled by Miller Coors. So some of the beers known by Anheuser-Busch would be Budweiser, Bud Light, Michelob Golden, and then Busch Light, most common ones for sure. And then some of the ones that they're rivaled by from Miller Coors are going to be Coors Light, Miller Light, and then Blue Moon as a little bit of a more import beer. So Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors constantly compete, mainly in the light beer category. So the competitive profile matrix. So basically this is just comparing Anheuser-Busch to Miller Coors and kind of seeing where their strengths and weaknesses are and how well they compete with each other. So economies of scale, basically as they grow, are their cost savings going to grow with their company growth or not, basically is how that's compared. So we did that at a weight of 0.2. So Anheuser-Busch had an 8 and they scored 1.6. Well, Miller Coors had an 8 and scored 1.6 as well. So they're pretty equally competitive there. Financial resources, basically, do they have access to means of financial resources, so funds, cash, things like that. So we had that at a weight of 0.1. So Anheuser-Busch scored an 8, so that would make it a 0.8 there. And then Miller Coors had a 7, which made it 0.7. So Anheuser-Busch had a little bit more of a competitive advantage there, but not too much, so they're pretty equal there too. So large distribution chains, how well they can distribute their product, basically. How much access do they have to companies to get it out there, get it to off sale, on sale, things like that. So that was at a weight of 0.2, and both Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors scored a 10, which would make their score for that 2 each. So they're very competitive there, very strong point of interest for them. Brand recognition, so how well people recognize their brand when they see the beers. So that was at a weight of 0.2. So Anheuser-Busch had a 6, which gave it a score of a 1.2, and Miller Coors had a 5, which gave it a score of 1. So these are some of their weak points. Their problem mainly is like they have so many different products of beer that it's hard for people to recognize the company name of Anheuser-Busch or Miller Coors. Technological skills, score or a weight of 0.1. Basically, are they using technology to their advantage? How well they can use that stuff? So weight of 0.1, so they both scored a 7 there, which gave it a total score of 0.7 for each of them. So very competitive there with each other, both using proper technology to create the beer, distribute their beer, things like that. Quality product performance, so are they putting out a quality product? Do they consistently put out the same product, things like that? So that was at a weight of 0.2. Both Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors scored a 9 there, which gave it a score of 1.8 for each of them. So basically they're putting out the same product every time. You know what you're buying. It's always going to be good. You're not going to get something different every time. So yeah, but so the total score of each, how well they're competing together across all categories. So Anheuser-Busch scored 8.1. and Miller Coors scored a 7.8. So Anheuser-Busch beats Miller Coors out a little bit, but not too much. It's pretty competitive. So like we said, they're both top industry players, so it would make sense that they're super competitive with each other. So basically going back over the strengths and weaknesses, large distribution chains make it easy for them to get their beer out everywhere. So again, getting it out to stores, restaurants, things like that. So yeah, so they can get it to consumers in all sorts of places. And then they're consistently providing a quality product. So you don't want to buy their beer and not know if it's going to be a good batch or not. So they're both, or Anheuser-Busch always provides a consistent quality product. Weaknesses, too many types of beer to have solid brand recognition with parent company. So basically what that means is they have so many different types of beers and it's not really labeled under Anheuser-Busch. So Bud Light, Golden Light, Busch Light, you never really see Anheuser-Busch. So you know, oh, I like Bud Light, but you're not saying, oh, I love Anheuser-Busch. So it kind of makes the brand recognition, you know, pretty weak there. So maybe something they could do is put that label on their cans or something like that. So I'm gonna hand it off to Pete to kind of go over recommendations and conclude us. So